What's going on, Nintendo fans? Welcome to the playthrough series of Pikmin 2. Pikmin 2 is, of course, the sequel to Pikmin. If you don't know what Pikmin is, I've made a playthrough series on both Pikmin 1 and Pikmin 3 Deluxe. It is a real-time strategy-esque like game. It's a little weird to explain, so let's just jump in and play. Of course, we want to start a new file, so file 2, because we're not losers. One day, its only employee of any merit, Captain Olimar, crashed on an uncharted planet. Wow, okay, I'm a human. There he was aided by indigenous creatures which he called Pikmin. In the end, Captain Olimar escaped. But in Olimar's absence, his employer, Hakutate Freight, ran into financial difficulties. Captain Olimar. Planet Hakutate. I wish they would use different font or have them somewhere else. Hakutate Freight. Because usually them has the same font. I thought it was... They were talking. President of Hakutate Freight and local employee Louie. Louie is one of the worst characters Nintendo has ever made. Saying that right here on record. Olimar, I'm so glad you're safe. Yes, very glad. Quite glad, but... Sadly, I have an announcement that is not so glad. Our company is going under. Yes, we're finished. On his first mission, Louie here met a ravenous space bunny. And his entire load of golden Pikmin brand carrots was eaten. I took out an enormous loan to repay the debt from this loss. I decided to sell off corporate assets to repay the loan. But the only asset we had to sell was your ship, the SS Dolphin. As for the rest of our loan, we have no means to repay it. Olimar, what is that? You brought that back as a souvenir for your kid? Treasure, 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 money, 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 money. Initiate evaluation, recover treasure. This artifact is worth 100 Pokos. This thing's worth 100 Pokos? That's more than a year's salary. What? There are more on that planet? They can repay our debt. Louie, you dolt. Look alive. You must depart immediately. With Captain Olimar. Yes, that's right. Pikmin 2 is pretty much a debt collecting game. The good news is that this game is not we're not under any type of time trial or anything like that, like in Pikmin 1. So yeah, that's good news. It's like Pikmin 3, there's 2 different characters. Pikmin 3 has 3, but Pikmin 2 has 2. Hopefully Pikmin 4 doesn't have 4, because then it might just get too much. But just like Pikmin 3, we could switch between the 2 characters. That was close. I have averted a crash landing running at diagnostics. Alert, danger, Louie is missing. He must have somehow fallen out of his cockpit. He is not responding via his communicator. He is either floating protocol or in danger, or hopefully dead. Olimar, you must find Louie before he freezes to death in the cold of this planet. Yay! Wait a moment, look. Could these be Pikmin? They look like they are about to be devoured as we speak. You must help them. Point at the screen and press B to call them with your whistle. You can also hold B to make the sound of your whistle carry farther, remember. So we're playing the Wii version of this. I should have mentioned that at the beginning of this. We were playing the new Play Controls version. The reason why is because there's great quality of life improvements, or from what I've heard. Remember, I did not really put that much time into Pikmin 2, as you saw from the save file as we started the game. The Pikmin ran to your side. They seem to remember you, Captain Olimar. How fascinating. Give them instruction to do not delay. Hold A to grab a Pikmin, and then point at the screen and release to throw it. Alright, let's do this. Attention, Captain Olimar. I have just re-established my communications link with Louie. It is fortunate we have managed to confirm his safety. Press minus communicate with him. I am quite interested in the details of his condition. Alright, so Louie's still alive. Louie, allow me to assess your condition as per our safety protocols. Are you at all injured? Is that so? Then my concerns are eased. Our communication link shows you are nearby. Can you make your way to our location and rejoin us? I will navigate for you. Press plus contact me and obtain information about the terrain. So yeah, just like Pikmin 3, as I was saying earlier, there's a lot of more strategic ways to play Pikmin. Louie, the odd object before you appears to be one of the onions mentioned in Olimar's report. The seed the onion ejected just sprouted. According to Olimar's report, it can be plucked with A. Gosh, sorry that this episode's gonna be long and it's also gonna be kind of tedious, especially if you've already played Pikmin, because all that it is just kind of going over what a Pikmin, how to play the game, so on and so forth. And I mean, I've done 2 playthrough series of Pikmin, like Pikmin 1 and Pikmin 3. Fourth wall being broken. Okay, whatever. I was trying to throw it right at it, but forget it. So as that's going, let's see if we can. Of course, when you bring Pikmin pellets over to the onion, the Pikmin chips, more Pikmin will sprout. Just like all the other Pikmin games. So yeah. Of course we can't move because we need Louie to come over. So yeah, so this is pretty much just the tutorial. All we're trying to do is meet up with Olimar again with the Pikmin, and yeah, I mean nothing really to it. That's the thing that like sucks about Pikmin games, that like they kind of take some time to get started. And I mean, as soon as they get going, but at the exact same time, it does take a while. So anyway, also there's a lot of product placement in this game. Like as you see here, Duracell battery out here in the States, that is a legit battery brand. So it is kind of interesting to see product placement in a Nintendo game. It's probably not the first time, but it's the first that I've noticed, so. Alright, cool. So up here, I forgot to grab these. Nice. Okay, now we should have enough to meet up with Olimar. I wish the Pikmin could also pluck the other Pikmin out. Also wish Louie didn't run so fast. Alright, there we go. Captain Olimar, Louie, you are reunited at last. This has been a troublesome start to our trip. But now you must feel assured that your combined wits can get through anything, correct? From now on, use B to form a single group, C to take solo action, and minus to change leaders. I'm glad that we have 6 carrying that. In the meantime, let's all meet up over at the Duracell battery so we can get ready to pick it up when we get that chance. That's fine. I was able to switch over to Louie, but that's fine. We're already over here with Olimar. Louie be over here, and then Olimar will be right here. Cool. Now we have 20. That means we can take the Duracell battery back to the ship with us. So we got 10, and there's already 10 there, so. Perfect. Alright, let's head back to the ship then. So in Pikmin 2, I believe it was purple and white Pikmin who got introduced. And then Pikmin 3, it was rock and pink Pikmin. Because the first one was just red, yellow, and blue. So, because I don't think Pikmin 3 Deluxe had purple or white Pikmin. I think the only Pikmin game, the only 2 Pikmin games, I believe, that have all the Pikmin types are Hey Pikmin for the 3DS and Pikmin Bloom for its Niantic's AR game, which kind of sucks because all the Pikmin need to be in at least one mainline Pikmin game. Hopefully Pikmin 4, whenever that happens, hopefully sometime soon. Nice. Courage reactor, it's called. Our first day of exploration has yielded our first treasure. We will be done in record time. I took the liberty of naming it when I appraised it. The name reflects my current thinking. Leave it to me to think up catchy names for hit products. It is but one of my many talents. We shall end our first day here and report back to our president. His face will surely be joyous. However, to communicate with Hakate, we must fly into low orbit above the planet. We will now return to the surface until morning so as to avoid the indigenous nocturnal creatures. AKA the Pikmin need to get to the onion, or any Pikmin that gets left behind will all be eaten by creatures, just like in Pikmin 1 and Pikmin 3. So nothing really new there. Today's report. Alright, cool. 280 funds earned. Gain 20 Pikmin. 20 red Pikmin. You found your first bit of treasure. Fine work. Our future depends on your efforts. To check your treasure hoard regularly. I'll check in often. Keep up the pace. Alright, cool. So, next episode of Pikmin 2. Going to continue on getting more treasure and paying off the debt that Louie made. Until then, Nintendo fans, welcome to Pikmin 2 and have a great day.